Alrighty, good morning, you guys. The story that I have for you today, this is going to be another piece of like disgusting race baiting and media manipulation. That's how I'm going to classify this video. It's just one of those stories that really pisses me off. I don't know, I'll show you a picture here in a moment, but the story we're going to go over is a video that somebody on my Discord sent to me. And the title of the video says, "Family speaks out after police detain 12-year-old while taking out the trash." And then down at the bottom it says, "Outrage after 12-year-old placed in handcuffs by the police." Here is the story. Here is the images that you are being shown. And when they talk about this story, it is being implied that the police irresponsibly just grabbed onto this 12-year-old boy for no reason other than he was outside walking while being black. And the implication is that this happens all too often, yada, yada, yada. The family has already secured an attorney. I think they're trying to prepare for a civil rights lawsuit, which will fail miserably. This is a tremendous waste of time and energy. But what this does is this is one of the situations that gets stupid people all riled up and is pitting Americans against Americans. And at the end of the day, there is a very simple and sane explanation for what happened here. We're going to get to all that in just a moment. But I think the best way for me to kind of address this story is we're just going to watch this media clip and how they talking about it, and I'll respond directly to what's going on in this story. The video that I'm watching is only about 3 minutes and 46 seconds. It's not very long. This shouldn't take me very long to do, as long as I don't yammer on too much. We're 2 minutes in at the moment. So without further ado, here is Michael Strahan to introduce this story.
Now to an ABC News exclusive with the 12-year-old handcuffed by police while he was taking out the trash. Police said with a case of mistaken identity. DeMarco Morgan is here with that. Good morning, DeMarco.
Michael, good morning to you. The father says what happened to his son should have never happened, telling us the 12-year-old boy is a straight-A student in school who wants to later become an engineer. The father going on to say the situation could have ended badly had his son panicked and took off running.
When it happened, I was really shocked and frightened about the situation and how it happened.
This morning, 12-year-old Tayshawn Bernard speaking out for the first time after being handcuffed and detained by Lansing, Michigan police while taking out the trash in what authorities are calling a case of mistaken identity.
And right now I'm feeling just the same way, just really shocked how this could have came to this circumstance of what's going on.
A kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Cell phone video of the incident seen by millions, sparking outrage.
All right, so I'm going to stop right there for my first little iteration. You heard, this is a video that was posted on TikTok, and this is a bystander video where the person making the recording has no idea what's going on, no idea why the police are there, no idea why this kid is in handcuffs, and they say on their camera, this kid was doing nothing wrong. He was simply taking out the trash. And I'm sure they're looking at these racist cops. This is unbelievable. They just can't wait to get their hands on a young black person. This is the kind of stuff that I see in the comments all the time from stupid people. So I know exactly what these people are saying. And then, they put this kid up in front of the camera and they have coached him on exactly what to say. So obviously this is a clear-cut case of racism. There is no other possible explanation for why the police would grab onto a 12-year-old. He's only 12 years old. He's just a boy. He's a straight-A student. If he hadn't complied, they would have murdered him, because everybody knows that the police are looking for a reason to murder black people. That is the undertone of the story. That's what we're being told, because they're trying to make money off of this.
And a demand for answers.
I was so mad I didn't want to hear anything.
His father.
Well, that explains a little bit of this too. You're so mad that you didn't want to hear anything because the officers went and tried to explain to him what was going on multiple times during this encounter, and he refused to listen because all he wanted to do was sue, and he wants to be angry. He refuses to be sensible in this situation, which is another very common problem in America.
Michael Bernard, horrified and disgusted.
in this time and era in America, I am scared for anything to happen to my son.
Michael says it all started when he asked his son to take the trash out to the dumpster at their apartment complex last Thursday.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
When the preteen didn't return after being gone for several minutes, the father says he looked outside to find Tayshaun surrounded by police.
I saw police around him, so I dropped what I had in my hand and rushed downstairs, and I said to the police officer, I said, why you have my son in handcuffs? What's the problem?
Tayshaun was released moments later, but visibly shaken, turning his back to officers as his father, seen here visibly upset as well, continuing to chastise officers as a neighbor continues to record.
I'm just washing up the dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down?
That's what he did.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma, they traumatized my son.
He's still puzzled until now. He asks a question, what have I done?
The Lansing Police Department posting on Facebook, our officers was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Tayshaun wearing a very similar outfit.
So there's the explanation for the Lansing Police Department. Their officers were in pursuit of a, does it even say an age? A Kia theft suspect wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. An officer who was not in pursuit of the suspect but heard it over the radio is driving through the area nearby and says, oh my gosh, I see a kid wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. He fits the profile of these kids that are out here stealing Kias. I'm going to go ahead and detain him. That is what was going on. I mean, I'll get further in depth here in a moment, but we're going to hear from the attorney in a second and listen to what he has to say.
And put cuffs on him. Attorneys for the boys say Tayshaun did not have on a white shirt.
The shirt that he was wearing was a light gray or a light bluish color shirt. There's no mistaking if you see that shirt.
The department continuing.
Alrighty, so let's see. We're at 2 minutes and 35. I don't know if there's much else to the video that I want to show, but this is what the kid is wearing. You saw the attorney there who looks like he's brain dead. He said the child was wearing a light blue or light gray shirt. There is no mistaking that shirt for white. What kind of freaking moron are you? Like, this is 100% a clear-cut case where the officers detained somebody that matched the description of a car theft suspect that they were in pursuit of. If you look at this picture right here on the screen, now imagine he is running from a stolen Kia. You might even say that this is a white shirt. Okay, it's a light blue shirt, but it looks white to me. If somebody is running from you, you've got a lot going on. You're trying to think of your location. You're trying to run past the car, make sure there's no suspects in the car. You're trying to keep an eye on the kid, make sure he doesn't have a gun, make sure he doesn't turn and try to kill you. You're running. It's very difficult to run and do all of those things. Keep an eye on him. You give the best description you can. Describing his shorts as neon and his shirt as white is a pretty damn good description. And if I saw this person in the proximity of a foot pursuit involving a stolen car, I would have detained him as well. This is the right thing to do. This is good police work. This is what we want our police officers doing. Now, to talk about the family and the reaction from the crowd and all that other stuff, where they're like, he's just a 12-year-old boy, he doesn't need to be put in handcuffs, and all these other things. They're saying that it's the police's fault, that they overreacted in this situation. It's not the police's fault. It's our society's fault. It's not the police's fault that we actually have 12-year-olds out there that are stealing cars. It's not the police's fault that he fits into the description of somebody that had just stolen a car. People that look just like him are committing these crimes, and the one that they were looking for was dressed exactly like him. This is beyond ridiculous. This is stupid. This is irresponsible journalism. This story never should have made it to the national news. I understand that the family is upset that their kid was detained by the police. It was clear to me, you can see it, that the officers were trying to talk to him. They were trying to calm him down. This is similar to the pulling cars over with the wrong license plates or a stolen. I've also had people who were driving a car that had stolen license plates on it, but they did not know because someone stole the license plates and put it on their car, and they don't get ripped out of their car, but they get felony stopped, where they're told to get out of their car, walk backwards, the sound of my voice, get on your knees, get handcuffed, and get stuffed in a car. We do all of that stuff before we can verify the license plate, the VIN number, and all that information. They're upset. This is shocking. This is traumatizing. I understand that it's traumatizing, but every single time that not every single time, because there's always that 1%, and this guy appears to be one of those 1%ers. There's that 1% of people that will go through that, and then you take them out of cuffs, you explain to them, hey, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but here's the information that we had. If you look at this scenario, you would understand, why we did things the way we did them. There's always going to be that 1% that refuses to acknowledge the reality of the world going on around them, and that is what this guy is doing. The media should have a responsibility to take that into consideration. You want police officers out there trying to catch these kids that are stealing these Kias. This is a plague on our nation. This is a very big deal. This is costing billions of dollars. It's causing billions of dollars in damages, plus the losses. I've had, I don't know how many single moms that have had to call and report their car was stolen overnight, and they're unable to get their kid to school and they're unable to go to work because of what happened. You want the police officers to be actively pursuing these suspects. And occasionally, if you are wearing clothes that almost identically match the clothing worn by a suspect, you might be detained in that case. And it cracks me up because it's like the people who are commenting didn't watch the video. And I think that what they did is they only watched like the first 30 or 40 seconds of it, because if you look at YouTube analytics, people don't watch the whole videos anyway. So they watched the first 30, 40 seconds, saw what Michael Strahan and what the other reporter were saying about this poor innocent young black child, how he was stopped because the police are racist and all that other stuff. And then you see the comments. Why does every little black boy or man fit the profile? That is exhausting. Let's see. I'm 63 years old, and I remember being stopped by cops. My mother paused on the car when I was 12 years old. I will never forget. And then they're like, the child is so well-spoken and behaving. He looks heartbroken. Poor kid. This makes me cry, literally. How dare they? The police behavior is disgusting. The police were looking for a young teenager wearing neon shorts and a white shirt that had just fled from a stolen car. They were in the area and they find somebody matching that description, so they stopped and detained him. This is what we ask our police officers to do. This is the job of a police officer. If they don't stop and detain people matching the description of a theft suspect, how do you expect them to catch the actual suspects? We as a society, and this is something that I say often, one of the main reasons that there's so much hatred towards the police is because people in our society refuse to acknowledge the job and responsibility of the police and some of the things that the police have to do and the tactics that the police are required to take. These are reasonable things. One of the other reasons that people hate the police, and this kind of fits into this scenario as well, is people refuse to acknowledge how shitty our society has become. Instead of acknowledging, wow, we have actual 12-year-olds out there stealing cars en masse. Probably thousands of Kias are stolen in this country a day. In the city where I work, an average of 10 to 15 Kias are stolen per day. They're stolen by teenagers that look a lot like this kid. Maybe instead of blaming the police for stopping a kid who looks like a car theft suspect, we should blame the rest of our society for creating a culture where there's so many kids matching that description, they're out there committing these crimes. I think that's all I'm going to say today. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.